First, I want to talk about how most people were saying how it was stupid, it was useless, along with every live action. And normally I would agree, except for this live action. This live action actually gave more world building and lore to Burke and to the previous animated movies. Unlike Disney, who takes their perfect animated movies, puts them into live action, absolutely ruins them, and then loses money from it. This has been a pattern for Disney for the past like 3 years. But DreamWorks was like, no, we're gonna beat you once again. We're beating you with our animated movies, and we're gonna beat you with our live action now. So they took it and they enhanced the lore, especially with Burke. They actually explained what Burke is, how it got there, and why they moved there. It's because they were close to the nest, and I just greatly appreciated that. So for anyone thinking that this film is useless, it's not. Okay, go see it. You'll appreciate the animated even more, and that's a rare thing for live actions to do. Okay, next I want to talk about the acting in it. So at first I was a little hesitant when I saw who they casted, but when I went in and saw the movie, it actually kind of blew me away. Mason Thames as Hiccup was super good. I thought that he did a really good job. He doesn't have as many voice cracks as I would like. Like, he barely has any at all, in fact. And he's only 17, by the way, which is kind of crazy. But anyways, I feel like he maybe should have done the voice a little more. There were some moments where I was like, that's Hiccup. That's the voice right there. But most of the time, I didn't really feel that. Nico Parker as Astrid was really good. That was one of the people that I was especially kind of scared for. But she actually cooked with Astrid. She nailed the character down. She understood the Astrid character and definitely gave a really good performance. Nick Frost as Gobber, I mostly liked. He was good, but for me, I feel like it's just the voice. I don't know, that iconic voice from the animated, dude. Like, Gobber is like one of my favorite characters, just in general in life, and so hearing him not have like that iconic voice was a little hard for me. But Nick Frost does give like a good actual performance. But there's just something about that OG Gobber that I don't know if they can ever replace. He was just too good. Gerard Butler for Stoic was just peak, absolute cinema. He voiced Stoic in the original. And so seeing his live performance, him actually being able to act out his character, was so cool to see. I mean, seeing him just be so present, such a presence, like when he's around people, like you notice him. And he just gave like such a emotional and good performance throughout this movie. Like, there was not a single moment where I thought he was doing a bad job. And especially because he voiced him in the original. So like hearing the same voice too, like that was just so good. Like, I'm so glad they casted him, and I'm so glad that he decided to do it. The visuals, oh my goodness, this movie was stunning. I saw this movie in IMAX both times, and it is so stunning. The CGI is like seamless when it's like test drive, and whenever Hiccup is on Toothless, like you forget that you're just looking at CGI. It is so well done. And just the dinosaurs designs, but not the dinosaur, what, bro? The dragon's designs in general were just so good. Toothless had a really good design. I really liked how they basically just copied and pasted from the original. I think he was a little less expressive than in the OG. I wish they maybe could have made him a little more expressive. Like, there were some moments where I was like, okay, give me more, you know? But the animators did do a really good job with him for the live action. And all the other dragon designs I thought were really good. I really liked the minor changes that they did. and it just looks like live action dragons. Like, they did their job really well. And the set pieces on this movie, if you look up the behind the scenes, like, they did so much on set as they could, because obviously this movie has a ton of CGI, but they definitely did as much as they could on set. And you can tell too, because since they were doing so much CGI, I think that they just wanted to make sure that they're doing as much practical as they could, which I'm really glad. I'm glad it wasn't like a Marvel movie where the entire thing is green screen. And of course, how could I even forget for a millisecond, John Powell, the John Powell, came back to compose this movie, and he just slam dunk once again, perfect. Gives me goosebumps every time, because the How to Train Your Dragon original soundtrack is in my top 5 soundtracks of all time. So hearing how he's able to enhance it, make things richer, fuller, bigger, more dramatic, it was so good. My ears were so happy in that entire movie. And I'm so glad they brought him back. If they hired any other composer, I would have been so mad. But they brought the GOAT back, and every little change that he did, like with Test Drive, how when Hiccup falls off of Toothless, it goes into a kind of like opera, and all sound is cuts out. Some people don't like that. I really liked it. I thought it was cool. Cool change, you know. It shows that this movie wasn't just copy and paste. They actually wanted to change things and make things better. And live actions give a unique opportunity for composers, because now they can look back at what they didn't like, and they can actually do the things that they wanted to do. Like, that's so cool. And I feel like you can hear that with the soundtrack. You can hear the differences that maybe John Powell wanted to do originally, but just ran out of time for. And so hearing that was super cool. And when I was talking about the emotions a little bit earlier, I want to talk more about that. How it's just like, this film definitely just packs harder emotion. Like, seeing physical people yelling or crying or just being happy, I don't know, it hit harder for me. Like, seeing physical people, just the presence of people made a little more immersion, in my opinion. And that goes with the romance between Astrid and Hiccup too. Because in the original, the first one, the romance was a little, I don't know, it was a little iffy. And that's probably just because it was, animated. But obviously they get way better, the next 2 animated films. But with this, I feel like they instantly just nailed it on the head. Like, seeing 2 people actually fall in love for each other was a really cool thing to see, and definitely made me more immersed. But the one thing I would complain about is during romantic flight, they do not make Astrid seem like she's enjoying it at all, even when she says, like, okay, this is pretty cool. Like, bro does not, she still did not look happy. It's kind of funny. I don't know, they could have done that better. I kind of giggled to myself because, like, she did not seem that happy. In the animated, you could actually hear it in her voice and everything of like, wow, this is really great. She actually fell in love with it. But with the live action, she was like, oh yeah, this is cool, I guess. Like, I don't know, it was kind of funny. That was kind of my one complaint with that though. And I thought that the casting for all the friends were really good. Snotlout was good. Fish Legs especially was really good. They made him like even more funny in the live action, which I didn't know they could do. But yeah, that actor nailed it. And so all the side characters were definitely good. And just overall, this film was just like one of the best theater experiences I've ever had. Just seeing this in IMAX 2 times, it just gave you such a awe and wonder and just sucks you in. And I feel like we're not going to have something like that for a while. I don't know. Because obviously the first film is so magical and perfect. The fact that they didn't ruin that and even enhance some things was really special. And I'm so glad that they did that. And so I would definitely recommend to go see this in theaters if you haven't already. I would rate this movie probably a 9.3 out of 10. The 0.7 that's missing is the lack of emotion during some iconic lines. And what I mean by that is when like Hiccup says this village could do with a little less feeding, in the live action, he did not. It felt like he was reading it for the first time. But in the animated, Hiccup actually gives emotion behind that line, and it actually made me giggle. The live action, I don't know, I chuckled a little, but I feel like during some iconic lines, the performance was just a little lacking. But that was pretty rare. And then just some minor things, like some casting choices and stuff, takes it away from being a 10 out of 10. But I would definitely recommend you go see this movie. And yeah, thanks for watching my review.